Joliet.
Yeah, hi, Vidria.
Hi, Joliet. Mustafa is not going to join because he has so many things at the same time and he's tired and everything.
Yeah.
So he just said that I should remind you guys to record the session so he can enter it later. It's very important for him, but he just can't join.
Okay. All right. That's great. Thank you for letting us know.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this session. I hope you guys are having a great time in your boot camp. Just before we delve into the question and answer interaction session, I just have a quick icebreaker for us here. And that will enable me get to call one or two persons by name. For the interest of time, we may not have, the time to do an elaborate introduction. So Julia, please grant me access to share my screen, right? And while you're doing that, once again, my name is Jackson Ako. I'm a faculty at the African Leadership University here in Kigali, Rwanda. I have a background in entrepreneurship where I've done a few researches utilizing qualitative analysis as well as quantitative analysis. Yeah, so I see you, Samson, I see you, Badra, I see you, Jones, I see you, Martins. All right, I have access to share my screen. All right, just a bit of an icebreaker here. Like I said, before we delve into the session, I have this. I hope you can all see my share screen, please. Can you confirm the chat box? Or you're mute? Yes, no, yes, no, yes,
Yes.
no. All right, thank you. All right. So just for the next few minutes, minute or two, we have this icebreaker. Look at this diagram. There are about, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ticks. Remove 3 and leave 4. Anybody wants to give it a try? How are we gonna do this? In the next 30 seconds or 45 seconds looking through. The host of Academic Eye, Juliet, you're not part of this icebreaker, please, because I believe you've seen me use this as an icebreaker before. So please, you're not permitted to use it.
Okay. All
Jones,
right. No
Adria, Anya just joined us. Lewis, you're welcome to the session.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, you're welcome. We have an icebreaker here just to get us into the session. There are 6 ticks, remove 3 and leave 4. I'm saying you got it figured out, Jones?
No.
All right, keep looking. We still have some 30 more seconds.
All right.
So you have to remove 3 and leave 4. Martin, you want to give it a shot? Our time is fast spent. Feel free to unmute, please, if you figured it out. Nobody? Wow. Jefferson, I feel you have figured this out. Jefferson edit. All right. I mean, in the interest of time, can I just proceed, or I should give you guys some 30 more seconds or 1 more minute? All right, we may have to just proceed. Okay, Jones, you got to
No,
figure
no,
out.
no, I
Okay.
wanted to say it's tough. You might you can
Oh,
go
I
ahead
see.
now and tell us.
Okay. Now this is it. It's a simple task. And what's the prompt? Look at this diagram. There are 6 sticks. So you agree with me. My cursor is pointing at the sticks now. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, and this is 6, right? You have to remove 3 and leave 4. Looking at it, you know, it appears impossible, but you're leaving 4. So when you remove 3, these are the 3 sticks you remove. You remove this one, you remove this one, and you remove this one. So you'll be left with IV, Roman numeral 4, right? I don't know if you caught that. Did you get that? Somebody should unmute. Let's interact a bit. Jones, did you get that?
Yeah, I did. But first of all, I didn't think about the Roman numerals. I was thinking
Exactly.
about the figure 3, but I couldn't see it. I thought about it, but I didn't see it in that sense. But now it makes sense.
Yeah. Anybody wants to give a feedback on this? What did you see initially? What were the possibilities and impossibilities? Martin?
Okay, I didn't look at it from the perspective of Roman numerals anyway. I was trying to look at it on a literal basis.
Yeah.
It's a nice
Yeah, sometimes you have a problem. You really have to look at the problem. It could be a research problem. It could be any problem, right? You really have to look at it through many lenses. So this is a call, like, you know, to look at things, yeah, from multiple lenses. So no matter how complicated a thing is, just unpack it in diverse ways. Perhaps your solution is right in one of those lenses. All right, thank you for participating there. So straight into the session today, some resources were shared. Juliet had earlier called for questions and some hands were up, I remember, but I just had to do this so that we interact a bit. So let's have the questions before I move into, you know, a bit of navigation.
I saw Samson's hand up. I think that was Samson and Jones, if I'm not mistaken. Samson, I saw your hand up. So you had a question, I guess.
Appears Samson is off the call. I'm looking at the participant list. Samson is not there. Comfort's hand is up. Comfort, you may go ahead and unmute.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Comfort. You're welcome.
Mine is not actually a question. You know, right from day one, I'm finding it difficult to access the video. I'm not really following. You know, for the past, sometimes I couldn't even come up online. So this time around, I don't know.
Comfort, please send
So
us a
that's the
direct mail
problem.
with your complaint. Send us a mail with your complaint. We'd like to focus on the boot camp for today. You have my contact. Send me an email, please.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Comfort, for raising that up. I believe it will be attended. All right, Jones, you have a question?
Yeah, mine are 2 actually. The first one is I didn't really get your explanation when you're describing content analysis and the thematic analysis. So I would want your qualification of those two. And the second one is, yeah, I just installed my Max QDA right now. I'm on the trial version. So I don't know, is there any crack maybe we could use to make it, I don't know, a pro version or something like that? Or do we have to buy anyways, like for the other version? Thank you.
I see. Okay. I'll begin responding with very first, the second question rather. Max QDA is just one of those softwares that the crack has not been available to the best of my knowledge. I have personally been looking for it. So for the few times I've used it, I had to just, pay for it. So like that's like the current realities, but I don't know if somebody somewhere around the world has a crack. But within my circle and for the last couple of years I've been using it, no crack version. To your first question, if I heard you right, you didn't get my explanation of my brief explanation of qualitative analysis, right? And you didn't get me on thematic analysis. Am I right?
It's on content analysis and thematic analysis, those two.
Now I need to be sure that I'm hearing you well. Quantitative or qualitative, please?
Content analysis.
Content. He
Oh,
wants to know the
analysis.
difference. He wants to know the
Yeah, the
difference
difference
between
between
content analysis
content
and thematic
analysis.
analysis.
Oh, I'm so
Exactly.
sorry, please. Yeah, I mean, I was on my end. It was as though I was hearing qualitative. Okay, the two of them are quite different. I think I have the slides here. So I'll just go through it so we get to see the points together. Now, in a content analysis, you are concerned about identifying patterns, right, in a recorded communication. Now, this could be a speech, a written document, or a recorded video, an interview, as the case may be, right? And so you are interested in the pattern of a particular reoccurrence in that recorded document or communication. Now, when you take it up, I have the steps here, but now let me go quickly to the second one so that we can differentiate it clearly. In this tool, you are looking at opinion, knowledge, and experience, right, from qualitative data. Now, the difference between the two of them is actually in the nature of what you're trying to do. So if you're looking out for recurring themes, I'm trying to get an example now. In your data set, right, it's not the, how do I put this now? I'm trying to break it down to very simple terms so that we can see this, the slim difference. It's quite slim, right? In content, you're working with, a recorded text, right? In thematic analysis, you are literally interviewing people, right? And from what data, from that kind of data, you're looking at the recurring themes or ideas that is being teased out from, that data. So the first difference that we can pinpoint is in the nature of data that you have, right? In content, this data could be a publication, a newspaper. And, a second. And in thematic analysis, you have this as per an interview from people's opinion, knowledge or experience. I don't know if you could find that slim differential in content and in thematic analysis.
Yeah, it's clear now. Thank you.
I heard you got your Max QDA downloaded. We'll try a few things together just before we end the interactive session. And Samson, your hand is up.
Yes, my hand is up. I just hope my connection would allow me to voice my question before it goes off. Yeah, I went through your presentation, which was quite good. I have problem with downloading MaxQDA, unfortunately. It's just been hanging in my system. I think what I'm seeing here, it's about 200 and something, 227 megabytes.
Yeah,
so
about that.
Yeah, and my internet has been funny, so it's barely getting to 27% download. So I just had to pause it because it seemed to be hanging some activities in my system. So I paused it. So I couldn't download MaxQDA. I don't think I can download it for the purpose of this. But I want to ask something about it. If one wants to buy the license, I'm saying a group license, an institutional license, is there a personal license for it? Because what I was saying was like an institutional license or a license for maybe 2 computers. I have 2 computers and I want to buy a license. So I don't know whether I've not been patient enough to check because my internet has been wacky. So I don't know if I was not patient enough to search for the price. So what I saw was, okay, I think there's a price for annual subscription and recurring subscription. That's, I think, if you subscribe, then it's for years for life, right?
Yeah, there's a subscription like that as well. But let me come in there. You asked if we have institution based or you could have it personal. Yeah, you actually have it personally. And interestingly, what they did was there's a package or a subscription plan for students. So if you're a student, it's like the cheapest of all you need to attempt making that subscription, and they'll ask you for basic evidence of your student status, a doctoral student or a master's or undergraduates, irrespective of the level. And that way you get the lowest discount. Now for the institutional base, yeah, definitely institutions can subscribe based on the number of computers they have, right? For a situation where an individual has 2 computers, yeah, you can also have that plan. So I would just say some level of patience in reading through, then you actually get every
okay. Then on the other hand, what if one downloads the trial version, then you happen to have an institution that have, does it work like can you use your institution's license to operate your trial version? Because that's why I'm actually scared in downloading it. If I download it now, 30 days, it goes off and I do not buy, but I accidentally have an institution that I can use their subscription. How does it work? Do I need to be on the system of the institution, or there is a way the license, I can be a student of institution, because there are some software that works like that. That since you're a student of the institution, you can use that, they have a special access to use it. So how does it work?
Now, MaxQDA, if your institution subscribe for it and maybe they have like 100 subscription, right? And they have installed, say, 50 on physical on-ground computers. Now, that 50 is gone to those computers. Now, if they know that giving it to their students as part of enrollment and things like that. You simply contact them and let them know, right? And they will give you the access code. And once you input it into your computer, it has registered your computer. Your computer becomes the 51st computer, right? I'm right there. Like, of course, initially it was 50 on ground. So you are now going to be the 51 computer that is registered on their own subscription. So that's how Max QDA works. And once it's locked in, takes note of it. Funny enough, what I did when I couldn't afford, there was a period I couldn't get access to subscription. I mean, personally now, I had to just get my brother's laptop to run it because I had analysis to do that period. So mine had expired, so I just had to get. So if you get on that laptop and run the trial for 30 days, you have access to it. So if people around you have computers and for some reason, right, you cannot have access to the software, so quickly you download it on a computer that has never downloaded it before, or has never installed it before. But once you've installed it and run it on a computer, it takes note of your computer. And anytime you try to get the trial version, it doesn't work, right? So I don't know if I answered your question in that response. Did I?
Okay. Okay. So yeah. So the last one I want to ask, I didn't clearly understand the discourse analysis and the grounded theory. Then that's part one of my question. Then the part two of my question is that the part two of the question is that coding aspect. I actually love the way, yeah, you explained the coding thing, because it's been very nebulous for me, grabbing it all through maybe my learning experience.
We've not lost you, Samson.
Peradventure writing my.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. If peradventure I'm writing my thesis now, like this coding thing, the way you presented it here, can I also? Yeah, I've gone through a lot of theses, but they do qualitative analysis, but they do not put these codes there. But for me, I'm looking at it and I'm looking at it, maybe it's kind of beautiful. I think it probably might make my work nice. So do you think it's appropriate to put this to put your coding sheet in text in your findings chapter or analysis chapter? I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get your question.
Okay, so those are my questions anyway.
Yeah. For the issue of adding your, coding sheets in text, definitely institutions have their guideline, but to the best of my knowledge, it's always something you add as an appendix, right? So if it's so colorful, fascinating, there's still a way in Max QDA that your final output will have a bit of colorations here and there. But this is just me trying to show you that, this is your raw text and you're trying to tease out, your current themes, as the case may be, through these codes. So all your purple, you know that this purple represents uncertainty from the text, like that. So I don't think you have, that kind of system where you get your, coding sheet in text, but of course it can be part of your appendix. Then trying to get the second question. The second question was around.
I was the second question. Yeah, discuss analysis and grounded theory.
All right. Now, in discourse analysis, what you are analyzing for is actually interactions within a social context. Like, oftentimes, there is a context to what you're analyzing for. Let's put that clear before we dig further. Now, the example I've given here, you are a political scientist and you're interested in how that within, say, okay, let's give an example, President Trump, the former president of America. I mean, you have access to his tweets within, say, 2018 to 2019. All of that, you have that data of all his tweets, and you're interested in finding out how that he is communicating clearly, and his followers, these guys like him, his own people, his own electorates, so like him so well, and you're interested in what exactly is he communicating, or what's this time around. Of course, it's not pattern that you're interested in, but his use of language, right? His use of tenses, his use of verbs. Discourse analysis, oftentimes you find researchers in the linguistic field, as well as persons who are analyzing speeches, so you're more interested in those speeches, perhaps the tone of his speech. When you read a letter, sometimes you're like, but this is a harsh tone, right? This is a nice tone. So are you interested in finding out, harsh tone kind of, in his speeches? Or how is he conveying his message? What are his frequent words in trying to convey his message to, his followers? I mean, that's a simple example. So then you're more interested in, social interaction in a context, right? Now, let me go forward to grounded theory, and I come back and see how we can clearly distinguish. Now, when you look at grounded theory, you are picking data sets, your qualitative data sets, right? And you have looked at the pattern of your occurrence from your analysis. When we go into a bit of some big practice with Max QA, the time permits us, when you pick your reoccurrence and you analyze it, you're simply saying that from this data, from this analysis, right, it can be theorized thus. You take, for example, you're interested in a work-life balance of female academics in a university, say in Nigeria or anywhere in the world, and you've collected, qualitative data from these female academics, from these ladies that are working, and you know that for a lady, a typical lady who has, a family and children to cater for, she's working at the same time. She's trying to progress on her career. Now, to some extent, this is hypothetically now, there could be some work-life kind of imbalance and things like that. But if you have collected data and your data shows you that despite all of these things, right, despite all the engagements at home, taking care of a baby and all of these, women in these institutions still climb the academic ladder, still get promotion, like they are balanced. So you can just theorize based on the data set. Now, that's why I say that it offers an explanation about the main concern of the population of the substantive area, right? And how the consent is processed or resolved. So if it's that, okay, you're wondering, you're trying to know from that very research, if these women, despite all the engagements at home and other demands of taking care of children, they still climb the ladder. So it's a matter of theorizing based on the data you've analyzed. Whereas in this course, you're picking, interaction in a social context, and you're trying to see how that interaction happen along these linguistic, lines, oftentimes along, a social context. I don't know if I've been able to explain something to you, Samson. Samson? Or it appears Samson is off the call. Okay, we have some persons who just joined us. Hassan Lawal, Michael Yenuga, and Victor too. You guys are welcome. I don't know at what point you joined us, but this is more of a Q&A session. If you consulted the resource that was shared earlier and anything is a bit unclear to you, we are just interacting, right? So the floor is still open. If there are questions, I will gladly take it, or comments or concerns.
Okay, so I have maybe not the question, but
Okay.
just to pick your brain on something. So early this year, there was a
Yeah.
client that reached out to me, and she's actually doing a PhD in one of these very high income countries, and she was asking us if we know something about these new qualitative methods, like the art based research method or indigenous methodologies. I mean, so do you have any ideas on stuff like that? Do you want to say something about that? Maybe briefly. Have you heard about it? Because
Yeah.
it seems to be a trend, like a new trend, an upcoming trend, um, based on the fact that most of the current qualitative techniques we know are kind of Western based. So it's kind of linked to the whole debate about decolonizing research. Yeah.
Yeah, I've come across a few texts that have tilted in that approach towards qualitative data analysis. Um, I hope I stand to be corrected though, because I haven't uh, dig deep into it yet. But when you look at something like an indigenous method, we do a lot of storytelling in Africa, right? And it is believed that through storytelling, right, you can um, you can actually report a research finding. So if you are interested in say in a community, you need to find out something historical a bit, right? Definitely, when you engage your participants, right, in a storytelling approach, to a large extent, they get to really give you insight that when you try to come up really formally or in another way. Now we're not undermining other methods. The same community depends on what you're doing. If you're interested in some form of participant observation, you go to that same community and you observe them how they do things. That is because of what you're doing. So some indigenous methods that I have read about uh, are tossed that way. Now, when you look at the art-based method, I have not read so wide about it as well because like you said, they are just coming up in a way. I mean, they are being dug from the archives of where they've been kept in a while, still around, like you said, decolonizing research, so that we do it indigenously, do it like with Africa in focus, right? Art-based, um, I have no detail of that right now. I'll go back, do some research, so I wouldn't say what I have no grasp in. Gillette?
Yeah, that's fine. That's okay. That's
Yeah.
okay. I just wanted to bring up that issue so that people know that qualitative research method is evolving and it's actually taking on some new forms. There are other research methods in there, like say the Delphi method. There are a whole lot actually. Yeah, there are a whole lot actually that are coming up. So those who are considering qualitative methods and who would want to maybe do something different for their research should kind of focus on some of these new methods that are coming up and try to see how to apply them for their work.
Thank you, Juliet, for calling our attention around the recent happenings in the corridors of qualitative research. Interestingly, these things come up, and if you're not on the cutting edge, I mean, a lot is flying in the space. So you really need to be so plugged in into a whole lot of, systems to really know what is happening out there. Thanks, Juliet. I will personally go back and do some more research into some very topical methods in quantitative research. But definitely what we are discussing here is still relevant, is still being used in a lot of publications, and definitely it's part of the broader knowledge. Okay, any question, any concerns before I go into a bit of some hands-on practice. Apart from, I think, I don't know who said he was able to download Max QDA. Other persons on the call, can you use the chat box? Yes, no, yes, no. Have you been able to download? Let's have data insights to who has downloaded and who has not downloaded. To just help me next 5 minutes. Samson, welcome back. We lost you for some time.
Yeah, my internet has just, I don't know what's wrong tonight. It's just on and off.
Even here, shaky. I trust that it helps me stay till, the end session. So just use the chat box. Have you been able to download Max QDA? Yes, no, yes, no. No responses. Okay. Well, I understand it's a heavy file, and sometimes with a slow internet, it may not go really so fast. Okay, now on the resources that were shared, the thing about Max QDA is I find it to be one of those very interactive, qualitative, data software. Now I'm going to stop sharing this very screen now and launch Max QDA so that I just walk you through a few things. Then we try to import interviews that has been transcribed, right? Or if it has not been transcribed, you can as well do that in Max QDA. So we just navigate Max QDA a bit and try to do a quick thematic analysis, right? Based on the data set we have. In addition to the things you guys have, some data set is there. When you download Max QDA, work closely with the tutorials. It's easy to use, great user interface that you can navigate around. So let me stop screen sharing and go for Max QDA app. I want to launch it now. All right, now this is your Max QDA. When it's fully installed, has an icon on desktop which you launch, and it will bring you to this first screen. Like this is your home screen. Now, once you want to work, right, Max QDA doesn't launch and open you to the entire user interface. This is the first interface that Max QDA will open you to. And because you want to start a new data analysis for your project, you simply go on new project, right? Once you click on it, it opens up the entire Max QDA interface, but leaving you with a tab here to name your project, right? So we choose a good location for it. Let's say we want to keep everything on desktop because it will create its files. So we call it MSC thesis, for example. Right. So, oh, I see. Uh-oh, screen sharing has stopped. Maybe I'll just ask that my entire screen should be shared, not just that window. Sorry, guys. Yeah, entire screen. Wait, I hope you can see the entire screen now.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. So once you launch Max QDA, it will ask you to name a new project. That is, if you're starting a new project. Else, if you're on an existing project, you still use that same screen. You have an option to go right into your existing project. But once you save for a new project, when you minimize, you will have it saved on desktop, right? As you can see where my cursor is. Remember, we labeled it MSc thesis, right? So this is how your file appears. So everything you will be doing will be based on this new project. So let me go back to this. Great. So now, this is your Max QDA, and I tell you, it's an interesting qualitative data analysis software. I personally am learning new tools every day on it. The learning for me has been continuous. Now, you have 4 windows that are divided right here. The first one, where my cursor is, that's where you get to load your documents, right, which will load very soon. They appear on their list. So if you've interviewed, say, 15 people and you import the transcription of the 15 interviews, say you have it typed in a Microsoft Word document, each of them. If you have it in separate Microsoft Word file, when you import it, all of them will be lined up here, the 15 documents. But if it's in a single file, you have a single file right here. It's a chart here. Let me see. Badger say, is this does it work for semi-structured structured interview? Yeah, if you have interviews and they are semi-structured now, if you know you have data component, Max QDA has like a mixed research kind of interface. So if for any reason you know you have things a bit semi-structured, definitely you can still work with it. The advantage of Max QDA is though it's a qualitative data analysis software, it has, you know, an interface for some form of mixed research interface, right? So you can as well do some basic statistical analysis here if you have data in that format. Yeah, thanks for asking, Badria. Other persons, if you have questions, just pop them in. I think our interaction will bring a lot of clarity so that when you go back, you also will work with you know, the recording as well as the resources on Max QDA official YouTube page. They have a lot of short tutorials there that you can use to. It's not free, you have to pay, but you have 30 days trial. I think that question was asked earlier. Perhaps you're on the call then. Yeah, you have 30 days trial. Afterwards, you can pay for it. 6 months, 1 year, as the case may be. If you're a student, there's a discount price for students as well. All right, so I was trying to explain your interface in Max Studio. So this first, you know, window to my own left, perhaps it should be right on your own page, is where you have all your interviews, right? Especially text-based interviews, they'll all load up there. Now, if you need to be previewing each one of them, you'll find them in this second window, right? Where my cursor is. We'll import some interview data, right? Now, down here, you have the interface for coding so that I think something was asking about those colorations. It's in this interface that you begin to give colors and you begin to code your data and the recurring themes or whatever you're trying to tease out of you know, your data. Then once you have succeeded in coding, you are able to retrieve them. Remember that they are all here as raw data. And you've been loading each one of them and you've been coding each one in the browser window, right? Once you're done, you simply retrieve all segments, right, into the retrieve box. And from there, you can export it as a Microsoft Word document, as the case may be, so that you can now look at things closely and make sense of all your data. And of course, you have other, you know, colorations that you can eventually extract from it. And you also have the word cloud function. So if you're interested in, you know, what's the most recurring word for any reason, you can just do a quick word cloud, and definitely something like a word cloud, you can make it and you can insert it to your work. You know, to show these basic things I'm explaining here. Now, going up here, you have some menu here, and each of them will really help you to navigate the software, right? You have the home menu, of course, where you have basic home menu, just like Microsoft Word document. You can open new project and do basic things in the home menu. Then here in the import menu, when you are about to import your data, right? Now, if there are images, you want to analyze images, but you want to load them on Max QDA so that you can do your analysis, right? You can actually import images here. If you're importing audio files, right? So you want to do transcription right on the go, you can actually import them. And once you import it, Max Studio will convert it to an interface where you can play and pause. So you'll be listening and you're typing, right? So you're doing that transcription right on the go, right? So that's when you import an audio file. Of course, video file as well. You can actually import video files too. That way, you know what you want to do with the video file, but definitely you're having everything loaded on one interface. So the good thing about Max Studio is you have it all in one place. So it's not that you're navigating your raw data, your video files here. Okay, you play it on your phone, then you write it. Everything is boxed up for you. Then you can also import some survey data, right? I did mention that you can some basic statistical analysis can be done here as well. So it's not just qualitative, right? Words alone. Then if you have Twitter data, maybe your research is into analyzing a tweet trend for a particular period of time, you can actually go download Twitter data and import your Twitter data here, YouTube data from the web generally, right? That's the good thing about Max QDA. Then you have other menus here as well. Then if for any reason you're working with mixed method research, you can also have this interface that enables you to do some mixed method kind of approach to research. So it's not just qualitative and boxed qualitative. That's just all I needed to call attention to. Then let me see. There's an interesting part of Max QDA that I personally use during one of my field work. Now, on your mobile device, you can get the Max app, right? There's a Max app. When you have the Max app on your mobile device, you can actually collect all your data on the go. When you just come, you simply will just synchronize, the Max app interface. Then you just get your data on the go. So from the Max app, to just, if there are audio files, to just bring them in. If there are text file, to also bring them in. So these are just various methods of or ways of bringing in your data. Now, having said that, on desktop, I have a set of sample data in this folder. So these are interview data from 3 respondents, as you can see here. This was from somebody in the UK, someone in China, someone in Austria. These are dummy data space, right? So say you've conducted interviews from this location. It could be more than this, but just for illustrative purposes, right? So remember, it's right here in your folder where you've kept it. There are text data. 1 minute, please. There's a chat here. Let me see. Oh, Baja says you can't see my screen. How about now? Can you see the screen, please?
I see you, but I don't see the screen. I don't know if everyone the same.
No, the screen is visible. I can see the screen. So Badger, check your view. Okay, it should be from your system, but I can see the screen.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I can see it now. Thank you.
Great. The view pattern. So you go to your import menu because we want to go and import that data set. And they're actually transcripts, right? So, and my transcript menu is not picking them up because I have some directories here that is actually not the directory I'm looking for. So text, PDF, tables, this is a perfect place to go to, right? And this is on desktop, and it will just allow you to pick them up one by one. So you hold down your control key and ask it to open. Now, the 3 responses that you saw there, I have succeeded in importing them. I've successfully imported them to Max QDA. The first were interview question and responses from a respondent in Austria, someone in the UK, and someone in China. Now, work has been made a lot easier from the way this data was, transcribed. The responses are in red. So you're already clear that as you scroll down, you can see your responses in red. But in a case where everything is typed in black, definitely you have to look closely. Now, what I'm doing is simply going through my data sets. When you get a data like this, definitely you want to go through it, right? You want to take a walk through it. Now, once you click on each document, the document gets active. A double click, sorry, because a single click doesn't get it activated. So what is currently active in our document browser window is the UK questions and responses. Now, when I double click on Austria, what is active here is Austria responses, right? And so if I have lots of responses, transcribed responses, right, they will line up here and you have your scroll bar if it's much more than what you can see. Now, your document view or document browser view allows you to at least see a bit of what you have in the text. There are 95 paragraphs here. So it's counting it as, you know, one down to the very last. There are 95 paragraphs here, right? Everything is labeled. Now, these responses were from a simple study that had the following objective. So let me go open the sample data folder. There was an objective that will just help us recognize something here now. One second. This is not opening. Okay, it's really open. All right. All right, so this study was on internalization strategies by firms, right, that want to go global. And so they were interviewing CEOs and management level staff of organizations that were based in different parts of the world. And they're actually, you know, like indigenous firms, but they are going international, they're going global, right? So let's say we're interested in finding out let me see, the motives. So from that response, want to see the recurring theme around the motive for going global. Is it for profit maximization? Is it for access to raw material? Is it for whatever they may have told you during your interview? I remember that you have this interview and it's quite bulky, for example. So with your data that has been imported into Max QDA, right, you simply will pick on your first interview, which is a response from Austria, and you come here and look at which of the response gives you, you know, insight to motive for going international, right? So you go through, because there were questions that were asked here. So we will be analyzing, or we'll be color coding now those responses to see what is it like in terms of, you know, their motive for going global, because it wasn't a tick kind of approach. They were talking, they were giving reasons. So maybe there is a box of speech, or there is responses in a paragraph, 2 or 3 paragraphs. So your task, you know, is to go read that paragraph and see for yourself, right? What was their motive? So I'm scrolling down to the question that, you know, was tilted around their motive for going international. And that should be question 16 or so. All right. In section, let me see, section 2 of the interview guide, this question here, question 7 says, please, can you explain what influenced your international expansion in terms of countries chosen? This response was quite brief. In a case where you have a loaded response, then you quickly go and read it between the lines. So he's saying we saw a huge opportunity in the Austrian market owing to the fact that their consumption rate of cassava is high and they are not a producing country, right? So he had just mentioned something here. So if you are now interested in coding this response and you want to give it a code name, this is what you simply do. Remember what I was saying earlier around code systems. You will look at that response and make sense of what he is saying. Now, this person is saying that owing to a large consumption rate of cassava, so can we call this access to markets? Right. Sorry, I understand that we are multidisciplinary here, and I'm using this example from business management. I really do hope that we can make sense of it. I couldn't get multiple examples, but then this is just something very basic. Now, when you have read a response and you're trying to code it, so you simply look at it. Okay, Austrian market owing to the fact that their consumption rate is high, right? So you highlight what you want to assign a code to. Now, once you highlight it, you have some color pens here or color pointers here. So let's say we highlight this to be magenta, right? Now, this has been highlighted as magenta, and you now want to give it that code name, right? Once you highlight it, coming down here, magenta has been selected. And what is magenta? For now, we don't. So let's right click and give it a name. Give me a second. So the plus sign here allows you to give that highlight. So anywhere in this document that you're highlighting magenta, right? You're simply saying that access to the market, access to markets is the reason for going global. So you write that, the color is magenta, you say, okay. So if this data going down had other reasons, for example, but it doesn't have more reasons. Let's say profit maximization was explicitly stated. You simply will come to where you think the point around profit maximization is. You highlight it. This is, for example, definitely what I'm highlighting is not profit maximization. You highlight it and you choose a color, say yellow, right? And you come here and use your plus sign and give a color name. Remember we had said that's profit maximization. You okay it, right? So that way, with a large response set or a bigger response set, so as you're picking things, you're teasing things, and you're giving them, coloration, and you're grouping them, you're coding them. Let me just use that word. For that's the technical word for your color coding. By the time you're done, and you want to now see for yourself, what is the response like? Mind you, this is for the first document. So let's hold our peace. Let's get to the second response. We've used yellow for profit maximization and magenta for access to market. So we come and open this data. We go down to that same response, section 2, question 7. Please, can you explain what influenced your international expansion? Straight response again. High demand for Gary by, for cassava by Nigerians in the UK. Now, again, there's a high demand. Can we call that access to markets? I want to call that explicitly that the high demand is, so let's just give it another color code, for example. Just say high demand. Definitely, if there's a high demand, there's a market. So let's say we use color green. Once you do that, on this side, green is highlighted for you. And you come here, and what is your green? It's your plus sign. You come here and say, okay, high demand. Right. So you're building your code system, and that's definitely what you'll be doing all over the document for the particular response you are interested in. Once you do that, you have succeeded. You know, that's why some persons really don't like qualitative analysis. It's time consuming, right? It's not like quantitative. You just load all your data and just be clicking and results will be coming out. Yeah, in as much as you know, you have this software, it has just you know, it's not as if it has taken the burden off you, but it has made things a bit easy for you. Like you have everything one stop place. And there you can, you know, take your time, tease out what you need to tease out. If you're analyzing, you know, sentence structures, you take your time and you do all of that color code. And once you're done, you simply come to, you know, your code systems here and do a right click, right? And ask that it should activate all. Now it has activated all your color coding, right? And the next thing, you want it to come to your retrieved document section where you will proceed for, you know, recurring themes or whatever you're trying to get out of your data. So you still come right here and check into your coded document. One second, that's not what I'm looking for. A right click brings this out. I want to move everything into give me a second. There is a menu I'm looking for that enables me move all documents to the retrieved section. Now, the thing is, once you succeed in moving the document to the retrieve segment, from there you can now do like a finishing touches to your analysis. You get to see all that you've succeeded in coding based on the colors and the very variable names you gave each of the color. High demand, profit maximization, access to markets. Each of them were all one responses across the document. So if you have it in multiple documents, you get to see the number. Sometimes high demand could be up to like 25 times across all your documents, right? Profit maximization could be 10 times across all your documents. But this is just for, you know, illustrative purposes. And guys, right into that tutorial link I shared with you and the few recording I did, you get to see everything you need to walk around MaxQDA. So just give me a second. This menu that enables me move everything down to retrieve segments. Let me deactivate and possibly activate it again. Z. Ideally, when I do this, it should move everything that I have succeeded in coding to this part of the document. It's just a single click, and it appears my menu is hidden. And drag drop it? Definitely no. Just in few occasions, you're able to drag and drop documents in Max QDA. Everything is by a command system. But just to be sure, I hope to the very point where I am right now, you guys followed closely, please. For those who were following from the very beginning. All right, John said he's following. Who else, please? So that I can really figure this out. Okay, Lewis says he is following as well. He's following too. Okay. Right now, oh, if first she just joined, but I hope you have access to the materials, right? To the few recording. We had interacted for a while, and I'm just trying to, walk through a very simple color coding and retrieving all color coding. Then we get to see where, patterns get to lie, and we make sense of the data there. So, but I'm a bit stuck right now. I'm looking for a single command that will enable me retrieve all, great. Enable me retrieve all of these codings we have done rather. High demand, profit maximization, access to market were themes that were reoccurring. Now, I do not know if it's because we just have one case of each. So let me go back to this document, right, and color code more things. I want to believe it's because everything we have just coded is just one each. So if you look at high demand, like for the color green, it's just one, right? Yellow, that is profit maximization, is just one. Then the maximization thing. So let's assume that right here, you have insights around high demand. So this is just for illustrative purposes. This respondent is tilting towards high demand in the highlighted area, and our high demand here is green. So you just click on green, right? When you check here, green has been like high demand is now 2, right? Color green. Now, within that same sentence, the person, your respondent, is talking about, say, profit maximization. So it's your highlight, you just come to magenta or yellow for profit maximization. right? So you scroll down again, and the person is saying, okay, access to market. You come right in here, access to market is color magenta. So that way you have to. So the thing is, anywhere you highlight, right? Any place in the document that you're finding the responses that are around what you're analyzing for, it's a matter of identifying your colors, right? And highlighting them. So we go for, say, another high demand. All right, so we have varying responses here, 3, 2, 2, 2, right? And so let's come back and see if we can, move these documents to our retrieved section. Let me see. So first thing first, you activate all, then give me a second. All right. Now, this window is not moving the documents to the retrieve segments, right? What I'm looking for, which is taking a bit of time now, is such that we move all our color coding. When it moves here, this is like your final stage of you've teased out all that you want from your data, your transcription, and it stays here. And from here, you're able to export it, right? You're able to see the color variations, you're able to see the pattern of response, depending on what you're analyzing for.
Okay, how about you try to get the codes from another response?
How do you mean, please?
Yeah, so this is China. How about I try to use another, I create codes in another document?
New document entirely?
Yeah, like UK. So try to highlight some codes, I think. Just
Okay,
thinking. Yeah.
Let's see how that goes. Let's say we just increase some of this color coding, but ordinarily, I mean, this should just move you right into the retrieve section. So profit maximization is yellow. That increases it to 8. So I do more highlights. Let's say large demand. What is demand now? High demand is still green. Okay. The right click is always what moves me here. Now, what I'm looking for is a simple click that just moves everything. But I wouldn't know why it's not even active right now. But just give me a second or two. Let me sort this out, please, so that it will just move our documents. We get to see what cloud and other interactions, and we end it for tonight. Yeah, question. So let me just undo that. Let me see. You're simply coming here and you're asking that max QDA should activate all in this circle. And that's actually what pulls everything to this part of your document. So all that, we've been highlighting, so comes to your retrieve section. Now in this section, once you see a response and you're interested in where that response comes from, all you're simply going to do is come beside a color coding, right? This magenta here was from this Austria response, right? And you click on it, it moves you straight there. Now there's a yellow here that talks about your production is located overseas, right? We highlighted it. Once you click on it, it takes you to where that response is coming from. So that way, If you still need to double check things, perhaps there is a mistake you made somewhere, you just follow the side of, the coloration. Now, this was from a response from China, right? Competition in domestic markets and other things that we highlighted. Then you come right in here. This was highlighted from same China response. So with this now, you have 8 coded segments from 3 documents, right? 0 document groups. And the 3 colors we used are all here. Now, first things first, if you're interested in seeing, for any reason, a word cloud of all of this response, say you were coding an interview response, right? And you want to see a repetitive word. Now, the very quick way to do that before you even export this into another environment for you to finalize your analysis is just do a word cloud. Now, if you have, say, it's a speech, a presidential speech or any speech, and you're analyzing, you will see the number of words, like the most recurring word. Now, it's not in numbering right now, but you can see that, okay, true was the most recurring word here. Cassava was recurring twice, right? This one as well, thrice. Here was 4 times. So this way, market was twice, demand was twice. That's a very simple tool to use here in MaxQDA. So once you're done here, you can comfortably export it and save it as an image, right? That's basic. Now, but that is not where we are going to. So you can just close the window. By the way, it's saved on desktop as an image in word cloud. Now, once you click on this export, it will simply ask you to export your document. And there you will see all that you've coded and the way and manner in which it appears. From there, you pick, the patterns and the trend and now write your report. So if you're doing a content analysis, you're simply going to, pick as per the content you're looking for right in there. If you're looking at themes, from all your coding that you are doing, you are looking at the recurring theme and you're giving it a code name. You do same thing and you export it, and it's also saved on your desktop. So you proceed further now to begin to write. So that is where the bulk of the work lies in, basic qualitative analysis using the transcribed data. I had earlier said if you had not transcribed, you simply will import it and begin your transcription and save it here on MaxQDA and analyze. But what we have is already kind of transcribed, an interview response that is already in text format. And so once you save this, this is saving as PDF. You have the option to save it as Microsoft Word. Yeah, this is saving as Microsoft Word. And so you can just give it a file name. This may be responses. I want it to be saved in sample data. So it goes right in there and it saves there. From there, your report writing takes place. So these are just for illustrative purposes with dummy data. Now, MaxQDA's learning is not one shot. It takes, practice. Once you have interest in the software with the resource I share with you guys, you definitely, if you're into qualitative analysis, you should find MaxQDA interesting. You should find it, a one-stop shop, one-stop place rather, for your qualitative analysis, as well as some basic statistical analysis. So it doesn't do the advanced statistical analysis that SPSS and R will do, but trust MaxQDA for your qualitative analysis.
All right, thank you, Jackson. You have a question, or at least 2. First, I would like
Let
to
me see.
Yeah, before you close this, Jones is asking if you can retrieve the codes, as in if you can show the command, how to retrieve the codes again.
Retrieve the codes. I want to get some clarity on that. How do you
you
mean
how did you
retrieve the
get into the
codes?
retrieve section? I'm sure that's what Jones is trying to ask.
Okay. Let me go over it again for some reason. So maybe I just close what we have there currently. Yeah, it took me a while this night to find myself here. So I should just repeat that again. So you're simply going to be saying activate codes by variable. No, it's still here. So that retrieve menu won't be there. So let me just say I deactivate all, right? So everything is gone. So I come right in here, just code system. The cursor should be above your code system. And you ask that, first of all, it activates all. And that's because we've done this before. But initially, once you say activate all, it's not going to bring it right here for you. You will simply go back. The menu under the activate all, right? Not this. Perhaps I do a fresh importation of documents so that we follow freshly. But I don't know if what I'm saying, Jones, makes some sense to you now. Now, this is here because we have imported it, we've retrieved it before. Previously, because we've not retrieved it before, if you ask that it should activate all, you won't find it here, right? I remember right under the menu, below activate all, you'll see an option that asks you to activate, just the very third one, deactivate, activate or deactivate. Just under this you get. So if I have to pull that out, then I may have to start all over again. But I'm happy to walk you through. If you have your screen, maybe you want to share your screen and you've not been able to do it, then we do it from your end. I don't know if that should help, Jones.
Yeah, I think it works now. I activated or and then went to more and then activate codes by variables. Yeah, it's now in the
exactly
retrieve segment. Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. You're welcome. So like I said, Max Studio is continuous. Just have a bit of interest in it. Their YouTube channel has a lot of video, as well as that PDF document I shared with you has everything step by step, color by color, and all the magic that you need to do with your quantitative data in Max Studio. Martin, your hand is up.
Okay, yeah, Aya asked the question. Aya said, are the number of color codes restricted?
Right. So does Max Studio restrict you to just those 5, or you have a limit of 10, or you're not limited at all?
Just these ones that are here that you can use to highlight. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
So you maneuver around them.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Links to these channels. Okay, maybe I should just do a quick. Let me drop the link to the channel. So just give me a second. Let me pull it out from my browser. Yeah.
Yeah, Martin, go ahead with your question, please.
Oh, my hands wasn't up. Sorry.
Okay. Be an error. So I've got one of the YouTube links to Max QDA. When you go right in there, you see other tutorials, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 12 minutes. Though they do monthly webinars, you can find that one to their R+, right? If you follow closely, you definitely, and I'm more than happy, to maybe if you're working on this or on your data and somehow you can't even find what you want to do on the tutorials or in the documents, I'll be very glad to assist at any time, right? I just typed in my email ID there. You can reach out to me, then we just connect, share screen, and we're able to navigate through together. So there you have my email ID. And yeah. Any other question, Juliet?
No question. No question at all. Okay. Okay, so I know we'd like to all go home. I just felt this was also going to be a good opportunity for us to show or demonstrate how to use Otter.ai, especially if you would want to transcribe your work. If you want to transcribe easily, then this, let me share my screen. Oh, sorry. Closed everything. Let me try to open my Chrome again. If you want to transcribe, sometimes working with qualitative interview demands that you deal with a lot of text, especially when it comes to recording. You ask someone, it cannot just be a very simple question, but the person will take a lot of time to respond and answer and all of that. And it can be really hectic can be really hectic to try to transcribe these things at the end of the day. So here you can have your transcription done easily for you, and then you use Max QDA to analyze them. So I'll just quickly share my screen to show you how to use Otter.ai. Where's my share screen? And then I come to
Oh, it appears we lost Juliet there. Let's give her a minute or two to jump back into the call.
I thought I have bad internet and it's breaking.
Oh, she had bad internet that really got her out of the call.
Professor, you can talk to us more about the interviews until Juliet join us. For example, I'm doing semi-structured interviews. I'm planning to do that, but I still have no background in this, and I'm supposed to use programs such as this one. Hello.
Sorry, Badra, I didn't get you quite clearly. There was a bit of a break in my own end. Could you repeat yourself?
Yes, I mean, until Juliet join us, you could advise me about, I mean, I'm doing semi-structured interviews, and I have no background in data analysis, like at all. This is the first course, and I'm starting to build on that. So can you advise me about this?
Yeah, well, okay, Juliet is back. With okay, let's allow Juliet finish. Then I just say that before we wrap up. Juliet, before we lose you again,
Okay.
go ahead.
No, sorry, you can go ahead
Sorry
and answer
about
the
that.
question. Answer the question. Sorry, I don't know what happened with my internet. Yeah.
Okay, I mean, Badja was just talking about having a semi-structured kind of data and what to do. With a semi-structured data or interview guide, I would definitely recommend that you work with Max QDA. Now, if you want to do it all by yourself, which is the beauty of coming to a boot camp like this, I mean, once you have the data, because I really need to see the data itself clearly, then advise properly. So I'm just talking generically now, but Max QDA should be able to do that for you, right? Once you collect all your data. Now, if you have the sections that you have numbers, to get numbers and things like that, there's a section there. Once you enter things, Max QDA can also, help in that regard. So yeah, I mean, send a mail. Beyond this boot camp, I'll be more than happy to, be of as the case may be. So yeah, but we need to put things in context. So I don't have all the details to give a proper kind of answer.
Thank you. If I have just a quick question, what's the difference between this program and in vivo or another program? I don't recall. Like there are many programs, but aren't they all like the same?
Well, they have their variations. In vivo too does a lot of qualitative analysis. I don't use in vivo so much, but I know people in the health sciences are very comfortable using in vivo as well as other people. So, but I have lots of people in the health sciences using in vivo. So Max QDA, for me, I enjoy using Max QDA. I cannot pinpoint the technical differences because I haven't used in vivo. Yeah, but yeah, I have a lot of softwares, many softwares for qualitative data analysis, but this is one that is a bit flexible that, gives you a lot of user input. Yeah.
Thank you, Professor.
All right, thank you so much, Jackson. That was a really insightful session. So quickly, I just wanted to show you how to use otter.ai to transcribe in case you have very large text, or if you're transcribing maybe video presentations, or if you're transcribing audio, or even Zoom meetings like this. Okay, so this is my screen. This is my screen. I'm sure you can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
All right, so you start by going to otter.ai. You'll be asked to create an account. So there's a free account, and I think the free account gives you access to, is it 600 minutes free transcription or recording? Yeah. So I have the pro account because I actually won it. There was a competition and I won the competition. So I was offered a 1 year free, pro. Okay, so the otter.ai has several features in there. So there's a record. If you want to record live, like you want to record what I'm saying, so you want to record this, I can just click on record. And as we are speaking, it's trying to pick, okay, so it's some kind of AI. It'll be trying to pick what I'm saying. And if someone else, I think my network is a bit, okay, to pick what I'm saying, someone else. All right, so this is just for some demonstration for us to see what it's like. All right, so that's it for live recording. And there's a way you can integrate this on Zoom, and it kind of picks different speakers like it writes their name, makes it makes it like some kind of drama script. It writes their name and what they're saying at different point in time. You can also import either an audio or a video if you want it to transcribe for you. Okay, so if you see my screen, you would have noticed that I've gotten a notification that my conversation is ready. If I click on that conversation, it gives me the transcript. So it's like some kind of live transcribing. If I come here and I say browse, oh, I can drag and drop. I don't need to browse. I opened it somewhere already. Okay. I opened it somewhere already, so I can drag and drop. So Jackson, permit me, I'm going to use your welcome video because that's really short. I want to use a welcome video to transcribe. It's about 2 minutes, so it's not going to take up to a minute to do that. So here's a welcome video, and I just drag and drop here. So this is a video. I'm trying to transcribe this video. Trying to transcribe this video. So what the point is, this saves you a lot of time from sitting down to listening to recordings, and then you type it, you listen, you type, you listen, you type, so it tells me success, and I say done, and then I get notified that my recording is ready. Oh, sorry, my internet is a bit unstable. Okay, so I'm gonna get notified that my recording is ready. I'll definitely be notified about that. So if I come to my conversation, I think I can also find everything exactly. Can you see this? I can find everything here. So this is the notes I recorded with audio as I was talking then, and it was transcribing. This is my notes. I can just open this, and then I can see everything. So if we are quiet, or if it's like a focus group discussion and you're many of you talking, once you integrate this with Zoom, I tried to integrate it with Zoom, but for some reasons there were some little privacy concerns, so I didn't want to integrate it any longer. But if you succeed to integrate it with Zoom and you're fine about the privacy condition, okay, so you can, it will just, like this picture you're seeing here will be the picture of maybe the first speaker, and it takes with the name, the username we're using on Zoom. It's going to take it like Academic Hive to say what Academic Hive says. It shows you, so it already gives it to you like a drama script, such that you can just work with it. So if I go back, let's see if our welcome video is ready. Oh, great, it's ready, as you can see. So let's open that script to see what is there. But then, please, one caution: technology is technology. Okay. So can you see this? What does it do here? It summarizes all the keywords for us. So just like what Max QDA can do for you, and then you have all the keywords in one place. It also summarizes the keywords, like recurring words from Jackson's welcome speech. We have qualitative data analysis, we have session, we have Rwanda, we have software. So if I'm interested in this word, I don't need to go read through the whole transcript to see where he mentioned it. I just tap on it and it takes me to those areas. It takes me to those areas. So look at it here, qualitative. Okay, so this is it. I have the count up here. I can just go say count 2. It's supposed to be highlighting. Where is that? What's happening here? Oh, it was updating. Oh, okay, great. I was supposed to open it up here and not from here. So let's say, oh, can you see this? It's showing me everywhere we have qualitative data analysis, everywhere we have it. So I can just go directly to the spots and still do my analysis from there. So once you understand the concept of qualitative analysis, then you find Max QDA and you find otter.ai really helpful. So this is what the full script looks like. This is what the full script looks like. Yeah, it transcribes it already. I didn't need to have saved time. I would have sat down to type all of this myself. So what I can just do is play the recording and then just listen. Now, if you see this, there's a funny part here. So for areas like this, you need to maybe put it in bracket, okay, or parentheses. Warm greetings from Kigali, Rwanda. I hope you guys are having a great time in academic higher research. Would come join to one. So there's a problem here. You have to listen to what Jackson says to correct this. So this is technology, and somehow if I ask something like, how about if our accent gets into, like, kind of interrupts the transcription, I say, yeah, so you need to re-listen, or do I say verify what it has transcribed for you. But more than 50% of it is correct. So just a bit of introduction here. My name is Jackson. Okay, it mentioned ACO, but then it named it a cough. So you need to correct all of this. Okay, so I think that's basically more like it. Qualitative analysis helps you to, if you're working with thematic analysis, you can use this for thematic analysis. It gives you how many places that occurred in a particular conversation, so you're able to pick that out. And I think you can do the word cloud thing too. I'm still exploring this because this is now the new this is the pro version. So I'm exploring a lot of things, and you can export your document. Once you're done, you can export it as text, you can export it as audio, you can rematch speakers if there were many people involved in that conversation. So it's something you should explore, really. All right. Okay, so thank you so much, everyone. It's really late, and would like to say good night at this point. Good night from Nigeria.
Thank you, Julia. Thank you so much. Good night.